Hello. I'm doing great. I'll explain in a bit, but we're here for the 30th unveiling of the shirt. And some of you are already, thank goodness the sun is shining on you. You'll be able to get the shirt right here, at the bookstore here, on campus. And we have a special surprise at the end of the unveiling of the shirt, so don't go away. Also, Patrick Warburton is here, and he'll be visiting us later. Now, for some of you going, I'm not sure who that is, how about Elaine's boyfriend, Putty? Yeah, I knew you'd know that. Or, if you ever rent at National, you know how to choose the best car in the line because Patrick shows you. So we're happy that he's going to be here as well. Some numbers about the shirt. Again, you can buy at the bookstore. The shirt costs just $18. What can you get for $18 today? You'll have trouble getting out in the restaurants here in Eddy Street for $18, I'll tell you that. Students have a 15% discount today only. So you can buy for your mom, your dad. I know I've got a couple neighbors who have carved bears, one for the Cubs, one just because they love bears, they're in their yards, and every year they get the new shirt, and they wear it all year. Now the discount, you can buy up to 2 shirts. So you have to choose your friends, mom and dad, mom and brother. You may have to leave out a family member. The shirt also comes in a onesie, youth sizes, long sleeve, and a women's cut. And this year we're selling a special 30th anniversary commemorative item for $38. We'll unveil that right after Coach Kelly unveils the shirt coming up at 6. The first shirt was produced when? Anybody know? 1990. All math majors. Good to see. That's 2019 back from 30. Only the students on the committee and Coach Kelly right now know the color of the shirt before it's unveiled. They began these preparations when the 15-person committee formed back in September. Last year, any guess on how many shirts were sold? 153,000 shirts were sold last year, and we thank you for that. Once again, we're excited to be partnering with Coliseum for the 3rd year to produce the 30th edition of the shirt. You can follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, @TheShirtND, Facebook, TheShirtND. Now, I'm mildly embarrassed. I host these things, and I'm the non-throwing quarterback. It's my job to keep the attention on the event. But you may be wondering, why is Jack on a scooter? Well, Jack was convinced that he could still play pickup basketball. And 2 Fridays ago, I've never been an elite athlete, but I now have an elite athlete's injury. I tore my Achilles tendon. So I've had the surgery. Oh, and it's a wonderful surgery. And, you get a hip replacement, you're on it that day. Knee replacement, you're on it that day. Achilles, you can't put any pressure on it depending on who you talk to for 4 to 12 weeks. So I'm getting really good on the scooter. So anybody asks, you can tell them later on. Hopefully I don't have to mention it again. Our next group, the Notre Dame Bagpipe Band, includes students, faculty, and staff and alumni from the University of Notre Dame, St. Mary's College, Holy Cross College, as well as members from the surrounding community. The Bagpipe Band performs every home football game and at a variety of off-campus events. Please welcome the Notre Dame Bagpipe Band.
They don't need the audio.
The Notre Dame Bagpipe Band. It is amazing the range of emotions you can make come out of people with the bagpipes, and they'll be around tomorrow. It's the 90th Blue Gold game, and you know the best thing about it? We know Notre Dame will win. This is also the 30th unveiling of the shirt. It is one of the great philanthropic projects on the campus. It all goes to benefit students, both student athletes and regular students. You'll be able to buy them today for $18 right here at the main bookstore. Students get a 15% discount on up to 2 shirts today and today only. So if you're a student, want to get one for that student section and one for a family member, get it today. All right, our next guest, I just had a chance to meet him, a lifelong Notre Dame fan, wonderful guy. You will recognize him from television, movies, and his voice. Please welcome Patrick Warburton to the stage.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jack. Wow.
Great to meet you. You know, I'm going to let you guys determine where we go first. Yell out where you know this guy from.
Yes, that one.
Are you aware of it's always been one of the most popular sitcoms in television history, but the resurgence it's having across America on college campuses right now, including this one?
Yes, because I was just talking to members of the Seinfeld Club over there, so that was fun. But it's great to be here at Notre Dame. I come from a huge family of Catholics. And even though I didn't go to Notre Dame, my parents tried to bribe my way in here, but Father Jenkins said, no amount of money will get your son in here. And I thought he could have just said no. I thought that was a little strong.
Well, I don't know. Maybe if you talked a little longer. No, I'm sorry. I would never, ever go there. When I first got here, I was calling the games on WNDU, and the quarterback and one of my first good friends at Notre Dame was a guy named Steve Berline. You went to high school with Steve Berline.
I went to a Servite High School in Anaheim, California, and Steve Berline was an underclassman. He was a freshman when I was a sophomore, and yeah, he was a great quarterback.
You are making your first visit to campus. I know you got to meet a lot of your fans in O'Rourke's just moments ago. I know you haven't seen a lot yet. You're sticking around for the game tomorrow. What have you seen? What have you liked? And what are you waiting to see?
I saw the cemetery. I was looking for Rudy's headstone, but then Jenkins said he's still alive. He works here as a janitor. So.
Oh, well, at one time he was the maintenance coordinator at a local apartment complex. That's for sure. Yeah. Now he's a motivational speaker. When you look at all your roles, is there a favorite one? Is it Putty or is it something else?
I love Putty was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing The Tick, which was a short-lived series I did years ago. But I really enjoyed this last one, getting to work with Barry Sonnenfeld again on a series of unfortunate events, which is on Netflix now. So cool. I got some ASOUE fans out there.
You know, naturally, it circles around to Seinfeld because it's so iconic, but it also seemed while you were doing the show and watching then, and even since then, not only did you work well together, but you seem to be a really tight bunch, really good friends with everybody on the cast.
Yeah, we all got along great. Whenever I got invited back, I was always very pleased. You know, I only did 10 episodes of Seinfeld, but I'm still, close friends with Jerry and Jason Alexander. I should tell you, so one of the reasons why I'm here, so the shirt maker Coliseum, who provide all the shirts for the shirt, they also donate a lot of shirts for my event. I have a St. Jude event, and I met with your whole St. Jude team because you have a St. Jude fundraising team on campus here too. And so everybody knows St. Jude's the greatest hospital in the world, and for many reasons. But so they invited me to do this. But there's a lot of crossover, in regards to that and St. Jude and the shirts and whatnot. Even though I'm not alumni, and with my grades, I never would have gotten in here ever. A year and a half of junior college.
So there are many different ways.
There are many different ways to make your way to Notre Dame, but I found mine.
Well, right over there we have the Bartolo Performing Arts Center. There is a very successful and large film theater and television school here. You've got a lot of budding actors, actresses who, some of the right over there in the band, they're all fired up to see you.
I did, right on.
What advice do you have?
I met a bunch of them today. I was over there today, and we got to hang out and talk a bit.
What advice do you have for them? Because I know you don't take it for granted. It's hard to get where you are at. There are hundreds of thousands of actors and actresses who love to do it and always have trouble making a living at it. You've gotten to the level where not only do you make a good living, but you're iconic in the many different roles that you play. How do you get to your level?
Some dumb luck helped, but I don't encourage anybody. I don't discourage anybody from going into the industry. In the day when I started, there were 3 TV channels and movies, and so when someone said you better have something to fall back on, it really meant something. It's still good to have something to fall back on, but there's so much more platform today, and there's so many more ways that you can get your get what you want done produced. You can film it yourself, put it out there. There's so many mediums, and so anybody who wants to express themselves artistically, I strongly encourage that, and also to be proactive as opposed to waiting for the phone to ring. Yeah.
And there is another way to make money, and that's not being on camera, not being on the stage, voiceover work. And you have won a lot of national awards with your voiceover work, both for things like The Family Guy, things that people would hear, and just commercial voiceover work, which is very important and can be very lucrative. How'd you get into that?
You should be doing more of that, Jack. You've got.
Well, give me your agent's number. I'll call him in the morning.
Absolutely. Right here, the voice of Notre Dame. An honor to be here with you, Jack. Well, I kind of got lucky with that because it was during the 9th and final season of Seinfeld that I had some opportunities, and one was for a Disney movie, The Emperor's New Groove, and then the voice of Buzz Lightyear in the TV series. Tim Allen wasn't going to do that, so I did that, and then it got the ball rolling. And I started doing Family Guy around then. So.
Well, and we had talked about this before, and I'll give Patrick credit. He hasn't brought it up, didn't really want to talk about it, but I think the job he does in the national car rental commercials is just fantastic, and it's part some of the characters that you've played on your television shows and part another step up. What role did you have in developing the control freak car rental guy?
Oh, that was a campaign that was put together. So they have their whole concept and all put together and an idea of who they want to do it from the very beginning. And so that's how that all came about. But yeah, it's fun. So go national. Go like a pro.
All right, we're talking about people who are icons. You've worked with them, and tomorrow you're going to have the opportunity to enter an iconic stadium, the house that Rockne built and Lou expanded, and then they've expanded it again. What are your expectations for your first Notre Dame Stadium experience?
Oh, I want to just take in all the, everything that makes it so authentic. Just, the vibe. I just want to be in the midst of all that and play a little bit. I'm hoping to get out on the field and get to throw the pigskin around a little bit.
Fully, after as you look at me, I recommend all of us middle-aged guys get back on the court, get on the field.
If I were to get in here, the first thing I would do would be try to be a walk-on. Yeah, at 54.
Well, you have the size to be a walk-on. Yeah. Well, what position would you want to play?
Oh, quarterback.
Quarterback, absolutely.
Quarterback.
Would you be
either that or center? Too big to.
So you just want to touch the ball every play?
That's right. I want to be right there in the middle of all the action.
All right, you can tell by the line and O'Rourke's and the folks out here, because we're still an hour away from unveiling, and Patrick will be here and help with that. But a lot of folks came out to see you. So where professionally can they look forward to seeing you in the coming months and year?
Well, I just worked on a film with Simon Pegg and Lily Collins, but the best thing right now, I guess, would be a series of unfortunate events, and that's. But we just wrapped that up, this last year, and so yeah, that. Something interesting that you've never seen. The Dish is about the Apollo 11 mission I did with Sam Neill years ago. So that's an interesting film. You can check that out.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Jack.
And I just met him today, and after a while, this guy's a good dude. You can tell he's a really good dude. Thank you. Thanks
this
for helping
right
us
here, Jack.
unveil
Thank
the 30th edition
right.
of the shirt. Patrick will be back again coming up in just a bit. Are you having fun? We thought this was a beautiful venue, and it is. Sorry about the wind. Kind of blocking out the sun, but at least it's not snowing or raining. I've been doing this for a while. This is right about a 6 or a 7. Without the wind, it'd be an 8 or a 9. Remember, line up for the shirt over here. You can get it inside the bookstore. Students today, limit of 2, 15% discount. Shirts are only $18. All the money goes to the many student activities and organizations that this event funds. And there will be a special 30th edition commemorative item that you can buy today. We'll unveil that after the shirt. One hint, when it's really, really cold in November, you can wear this to the games. In a way, it can actually be seen. So you'll want to stick around for that. We are all here today, a milestone weekend for the shirt. It's the 30th anniversary edition of the shirt. A terrific student run. It's a company. It's a student run company that last year sold 153,000 shirts. And all of the proceeds go to many different student athletic organizations, but to just student organizations overall, all across campus. So when you wear this shirt, you're not only showing solidarity with the football team in the fall, support for the football team everywhere you go, you're supporting all the students on the Notre Dame campus. It's just a terrific cause. Shirt's only $18. Folks lining up right here, some of them luckily in the sun. They'll go on sale right after we unveil it with Coach Kelly, Patrick Warburton, and the shirt committee coming up at 6 o'clock. You can also get them at the main bookstore over in the X Center. And if you don't want to wait in line, you can buy them tomorrow and the next day and all through the summer. But today, students get a 15% discount, and that's today only on up to 2 shirts. Now, the shirt comes in a onesie, youth sizes, long sleeve, women's cut, And this year, we're going to unveil after the shirt another piece of apparel, a special commemorative edition of the shirt, but it's more than just a shirt, and we'll show that to you. That's just $38. The first shirt was produced in 1990. Only the shirt committee and Coach Kelly know the color of this year's shirt. I have not seen any leaks. Preparations began last September when the 15-person committee began preparations for this day. And again, I've been around them. It is a company. They have meetings, they're finance directors, they run a company, and they have to run it successfully, and they do. And again, partnering with Coliseum, which is one of the reasons Patrick Warburton is here, because his charity for the St. Jude's Foundation also gets their shirts from Coliseum. And it's the third year that the shirt for Notre Dame has been produced by Coliseum. You can follow the shirt folks on Twitter and Instagram at The Shirt ND and on Facebook, The Shirt ND. We have more entertainment for you. I guess it's kind of appropriate with a football game tomorrow that we go to halftime. Halftime is Notre Dame's very first co-ed a cappella group. Founded in 2004, one of Halftime's main focuses is to sing pop and rock pieces arranged by members and alumni. You can join Halftime at their spring concert May 3rd to celebrate the release of their EP, All the Time. Please welcome to our shirt stage, Halftime. Thank you, the Notre Dame Undertones. Please welcome Kristen Andraco to the stage. She has a really easy major. She's a science business major. She's an alumna of Walsh Hall, now lives off campus, and currently serves as president of the Shirt Committee. She's a glutton for punishment. It's her second year as president of the Shirt Committee. Originally from the great state of North Carolina, she started on the committee her freshman year in charge of this ceremony, the unveiling, and she has served as the president of the committee for the past 2 years. As I mentioned, Kristen, it is now your show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are so excited to share with you what we've been working on for the past year, and absolutely thrilled that you're all joining us on this quite windy but alas sunny day. We're here to celebrate a truly amazing 30-year Notre Dame tradition. And in just about 20 minutes, we will unveil this year's shirt. We're proud that since the project began in 1990, the shirt has become the single best-selling unit of collegiate apparel. Over the last 29 years, we've sold 2.4 million shirts and have raised over $11.5 million. What is exceptional about this project is that all of the $11.5 million that have been raised have stayed on campus to support Notre Dame students. Half of our revenue is allocated to the Student Union, which distributes money to undergraduate student organizations. And the other half goes to the newly funded Student Enrichment Endowment, which ensures that all students, regardless of their financial background, can participate in the full Notre Dame experience. This year, to celebrate our 30th anniversary, we are especially grateful to have the founder of the shirt, Brennan Harvith, back here with us. Brennan Harvith is a 1991 alum from Notre Dame. He lived in St. Edward's Hall during his time here and was also a member of the trumpet section in the marching band. During his senior year, he was chairperson of Antostal and graduated with a bachelor's in business administration with a concentration in marketing and a minor in psychology, so a pretty impressive resume. He currently lives in Farmington Hills, Michigan, a suburb of Detroit, with his spouse, Susan, and 3 daughters, Catherine, Kelsey, and JC. Currently, he leads Asian OEM sales for IAC, an interior supply in the automotive industry. He loves going to Notre Dame football games, and I spoke with him today, and he's very, very excited to be back and talk to you all about the shirt and what the project has grown to become. So without further ado, Brennan Harvith.
Good afternoon. Good evening. How about the band? I apologize for the scripted, prepared remarks. When you get a little bit older, your head gets a little saturated. So this will keep me straight. First of all, thank you, Kristen, Jennifer, Lindsay, Rosie, Bob, and the rest of the Shirt Committee for inviting me here to come today to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the shirt, my baby. It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyways. I am both honored and humbled to be here. While the original shirt wildly exceeded my expectations, there's no way I could have expected it to become the wonderful tradition it is. And it brings me to tears every time I think about it. And if I start crying while I'm up here, you'll apologize. The Notre Dame family is the greatest family in the world. Of course, I'm not telling you anything you already know, right? It was the Notre Dame family that I was born into. My father graduated in 1959. My sister graduated in 1987. My godfather was my father's roommate, and his 2 sons were at Notre Dame and his daughter at St. Mary's. The day I got my acceptance letter, I cried. I was going to be part of the Notre Dame family. We all know what it means to be part of the Notre Dame family. Father Hesburgh's book, God, Country, Notre Dame, says it all. It means love. It means commitment. It means sharing and caring and compassion. Your family is your responsibility. The university is surrounded by the Holy Spirit, and that's the spirit of Notre Dame that binds us together. We carry that spirit everywhere we go. It gives us strength. Little story, my mother, while she was visiting my sister and her friends in Farley Hall during her junior parents' weekend, once said, not realizing what she was saying at the time, "Isn't it great that we are all so unique, yet none of us are different?" Everyone that heard that phrase thought it sounded rather profound, yet they were very puzzled as well. She was amazed at how such a diverse group of people from all over the country shared the common love of God, country, and the spirit of the Notre Dame family. To me, the shirt means family, or ohana in Hawaiian. And ohana means family sticks together. The shirt represents all that is wondrous about the Notre Dame family. It captures the Notre Dame spirit. It brings us together to celebrate being a family and to support each other. The shirt gives us the opportunity annually to reaffirm our common bond, our common love of Notre Dame, Our Lady, Mother Mary, who so majestically stands atop the dome. We are all part of her family. In 1990, the shirt was my baby, and it was my baby that led me to my wife, Susan Murphy, and eventually our own family. I think she's around here somewhere. Susan's out there. So yes, even a love story comes out of the initial of the shirt. We have 3 daughters represented by the shirt 1996, the shirt 2001, and the shirt 2003. Those are their names too. I'm not so sure what we would have done if we had had twins. Just kidding. They are Catherine, Kelsey, and JC, and we're so proud. To provide a little bit of backstory to the beginnings of the shirt, I was a member of the marching band, and when I was in uniform, I often thought, how cool would it be to have the entire student section wearing a uniform? Then, as an outgoing junior and the next chairperson of Antossel, I saw the opportunity to suit up the student body while also raising money to bring in a big named band during our spring festival. Okay, so now after arriving back on campus in the fall of 1990, we had about 10 or 11 days to advertise, market, pre-sell, print, and distribute the original shirt. 10 or 11 days. All in time for the home opener against Michigan. In that period of time, we pre-sold 7,000 shirts to the students, and we printed 9, so we would have extra to sell on game day. And we raised over $17,000 that year for student activities. And later that year, we brought in the Guess Who. As you may have read, a few weeks later, there was a foreign exchange student from China that was injured in a car accident on US 31 while walking over to St. Mary's. Sister Jean Lentz, the vice president of student affairs, was looking for a way to help this student who was so far from home and who did not have insurance to cover his medical expenses. Recognizing the success of the shirt and knowing how quickly the Notre Dame family is willing to come together and support those in need, Sister Jean met with the leadership of student activities, Joe Cassidy, and suggested introducing another shirt. This time it would become the Shirt for the Cause. It would be a shirt for the biggest game of the year ever, the Miami game. With the university fully behind the effort, Notre Dame family bought up over 30,000 shirts and raised over $100,000, which went to directly support the student and the care that he needed. You may know Sister Jean passed away in 2012, but I know that she is smiling down on her alma mater as her extended family celebrates the 30th year of the shirt. Ohana means family. Maybe this fall we can all chant Ohana to remind everyone that we are a family, the greatest and most renowned collegiate family in the world, the Notre Dame family. God bless, and may God continue to guide the Shirt Committee and Notre Dame. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brennan. It's such a privilege to have you back with us. So right now, I'm joined with one of my vice presidents, Lindsay Myers. She was also the designer of the shirt 2 years ago. And for the last 4 years, we've had the absolute privilege to work alongside our trusted advisor, Bob Franken. Bob has been the staff advisor to the shirt for the last 7 years and also serves as the print media specialist and staff advisor to the Scholastic and the Dome. He has spent countless hours advising students, spending late nights in the gold room of the fun, working on the design, marketing endeavors, and planning this event. Bob's guidance has simply been unparalleled throughout my 4 years working with him on the shirt. When asked about Bob's legacy, Molly Howell, president of the shirt 2016, remarked, "His guidance and confidence left a lasting impact, and I know Bob guided countless other Notre Dame students as well throughout his long tenure at the university. All those who worked with him benefited from his mentorship, and he leaves behind a profound legacy after decades of service to this university. Thank you, Bob, for your guidance and support. We wish you the best in your retirement." All right. So, one of the questions we also always get asked is who creates the shirt? We're an entirely student-run initiative, so I think we should bring out the students that make this event possible. They just have to fight some crowds right now. All right, so we will start with our public relations team. We have Max Perry and Michael Conlin. Next, we have our videographers, Gretchen Hopkirk and Brian Curley. Next, we have our social media and marketing team, Irene Valdez Salazar and Grace Pyramidal and Rosie Bartley. And then we have the ladies who planned this event, Jennifer Paul and Jenny Moore. And we have our visionary for all of our 30-year activities, Devin Diggs. And then we have your designers of this shirt, Darby West, Quinn Denver, and Kaylee McGuigan. In addition, we have our leadership team, Nicholas Martinez, our vice president, and Lindsay Myers, also our vice president. And so I'm going to pass the mic off to Lindsay to explain to you the process of designing the shirt.
So the shirt begins a long time before today. Back in August, that's when we start forming our committee for the following year. We get hundreds and hundreds of applications for 2 or 3 positions that open up every year. So the students that are standing up here on the stage are the best of the best, and they've done an incredible job this year preparing the shirt 2019. Once we have the committee in order, our next step is choosing a vendor. So we send out requests for proposals to all the major outlets and athletic apparel companies. And we start the whole bidding war. And it's really a giant business that's entirely run by our students here on stage. Once we go ahead and we choose that vendor, that's really when we start diving into color. And color's a huge, huge decision, as I'm sure all of you know here. And that's where I'm going to pass it off to Lindsay.
So can you believe that we've been keeping this color a secret since December? It's really tough for us. Everyone asks us, what color is it? And we always say hot pink or tie-dye. I don't know. Actually, it might be. Who knows? So after that, we go through hundreds of iterations of design. It takes months, and finally, in around February, we take a trip out to LA, the headquarters of Coliseum, our vendor, and we finalize designs. So in February, we actually start printing, and then that's when it starts. We start planning this entire event and working out every little detail until everything is perfect. And we hope that you all enjoyed today because we worked very hard on it. All right, so
poll the crowd. Who thinks the shirt is going to be green? Who thinks the shirt is going to be gold? Who thinks the shirt is going to be blue? White? Black? No. All right, so while we wait for Coach Kelly to come to unveil the shirt, we will very quickly hear from the band of the Fighting Irish.
All right, you've been a great crowd. Are you ready to see the shirt? All right, Brennan, come on back up. Brennan, come up. Patrick Warburton, come on up. We can't do it without Patrick. And we certainly can't do it without the man who has led the Notre Dame football program for the last 9 seasons. He's now starting his 10th year as the head football coach at Notre Dame. He is the only 3-time winner of the Home Depot National Coach of the Year Award, including last season. And I expect him to come out of this door right to my left. They've had many meetings today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the head coach of the Fighting Irish, coming off a 12-0 regular season, Brian Kelly.
Thank you. Had a wardrobe malfunction. Buddy, you don't know how that goes, do you? No. Every time I see him, he looks younger and younger. All right, so here we are. 10th year of doing the shirt. You didn't think I'd make it that long, did you? What do you mean, no? The whole band said no. What's that all about? Yeah, I like her. I've always liked you. Full scholarship. All right. Our shirt committee is, bar none, the most talented group that they've put together since I've been here in the 10 years. So you will be so pleased with what they've put together. The time that they put in on the design, they started way back way back at the start of the year, putting together this design. Because you got to understand, this past season, the green shirt that they put out there was the biggest selling shirt that they've ever had. So they had to trump that. They had to come up with something bigger and better, and they did. Because they went back and they looked at the history of this shirt. And that's why the 30-year history of this shirt was put into this design. And so you're going to see tradition with this shirt. You're going to see the history of this shirt come out. And you're going to see something that's never been done before, ever, in the history of Notre Dame with this shirt. We've added something new to the shirt. How do you want to do this? Do we want to start with something with everybody showing the shirt? And then we'll go to the new. So on 3, we are going to show you the 2019, let me stand over here, the 2019 version of this year's shirt. 1, 2, 3, let's see it. So, built on tradition on the back and on the front, you can see all of the type, the Notre Dame lettering, mirrors, the 1930s kind of lettering that you see throughout the stadium, the historical kind of significance of that. And congratulations to the team here. What a great job in putting together the shirt. And Brendan, pleasure. We have, Brendan is here. Brendan is the brainchild of the shirt. 30 years ago, came up with the idea of the shirt, and you can only imagine, we talk about the shirt, but he sees it in the millions and millions of dollars that have been raised with the genius of this shirt. So there's one other piece that has been brought that's never been done with this shirt, and this piece is going to be shown to you right now. Brendan, show them what we got. First time ever, utilizing the original look of the first shirt, flipping the colors around a little bit, but the original design of the first shirt and the first time ever sweatshirt. Not that it ever gets cold around here. Not that you would ever need a sweatshirt. Congratulations, everybody. Great work. Awesome.